maybe you just have to stand up. As you know, on this channel, I do many different kinds of lives, and this is going to be a different one where I load and reload. Oh, hey, you can stay right here. This particular live stream, I'm going to unload the dishwasher. That's what I'm doing tonight. First off, I think I might finish off these olives because they're really good. They're so good. They're garlic olives. I love them. Today, I'm just trying to get. I have a pretty good energy level, but I was. Hi, Jorge. How you doing? I've been pushing myself hard. I could have saved the water, but I'm not going to do that. Like, sometimes I do when I'm making something. But, no, not today. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. Just get everything off my little baby hands. Put some soap on my hands. Lather it up, You should really wash your hands. Some people kind of out themselves not washing their hands. They're like, oh. And I'm like, if you just tell the world you don't really wash your hands, you should wash your hands throughout the day, okay? Washing your hands is critical. It really, really, really is. So, hi, how you doing? Okay, so I'm going to dry off my hands. And we're going to unload Mr. Dishwasher. Well, I started doing it yesterday, but I just got tired. So I'm going to take everything out and put everything back in. That's how it goes, right? I start on the bottom and I work my way towards the top. Let's see. Get up here. That's just my preference for unloading the dishwasher. Everybody has their own kind of method for doing it. Some people don't like dishwashers. I don't know why. I personally love dishwashers. So if you don't love dishwashers, that's fine. But I will always love a dishwasher. I don't get people that are like, oh, I don't like dishwashers. I'm like, good. Then don't use them. Don't use them. But I love dishwashers. They're amazing. I think maybe this is my hot take on dishwashers and why I really love them. Personally, they sanitize your dishes. They just get things extra clean. They're really nice. You can rinse everything off a bit. I mean, honestly, I don't even rinse everything as much as I usually do. I use the Cascade detergent, which does a pretty good job at getting everything off. I usually rinse things a little bit more than this. But, I don't know. I had to leave that day, so I wasn't completely rinse like I usually do. But, it still does a really good job at getting things clean. Yeah, it does very nice, because some things had more food than what I usually would like. But I like to usually rinse everything thoroughly, but there were a few things in here that had food, and Cascade got everything off. But I decided to buy a liquid Cascade because in the future I'm not going to buy the pods. I think the pods, even though they do a good job, they're just a little bit too pricey than what I want to pay. And definitely don't buy the pods at the Dollar Tree. And even though I love the Dollar Tree, and the Dollar Tree's fun, I've been thinking about this lately. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I've been thinking about this when it comes to the Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree does have some good things. I found the Turkish detangling spray, which I really like. It's made in Turkey, so I just call it the Turkish detangling spray. But I have it here. I'll show you. I have to show you. This stuff is good. I love it. But in general, I feel like you need to be very selective and strategic about what you buy at the Dollar Tree, especially now that not everything's $1.25 anymore. Because there's a lot of things there that are $3, $4, and $5 that you can actually find at Walmart cheaper. And one thing would be Cascade pods even. You can get more of them. But I just bought the liquid Cascade this time. because I'm not going to buy pods anymore. It was fun experimenting because I think they really do. They do a good job of getting the dishes clean, but I just don't want to spend that much money going forward. So yeah, they do a great job. They're very good at what they do, but just personally, I think I would rather use the liquid detergent. It's a little bit cheaper. It's not quite as pricey. Just my preference, but you know, whatever you like. Like if you like the pods, like that's great. I just think economic wise, it's not the best deal. And I'm all about what the best deal is while still getting clean dishes. Actually, my favorite dishwashing detergent used to be a Great Value one, a Walmart liquid one. That stuff was amazing, but I haven't seen it since the pandemic. And back then, it was like $2.96 for a big bottle of it. And like my sister said, it got the dishes cleaner even. I think it blew Cascade out of the water, really. Like, it was that good. But I just haven't seen it since then. I'm like, it just disappeared. Maybe they still make it, but I feel like there's certain brands, certain things I just haven't seen since Panorama time. Like, I don't know, did they go out of business? Because maybe when more people were on stay-at-home order, I don't know, like, what the story is behind certain things. But there were just certain brands that I remember buying for several years before Panini. And when that started, I just never saw them again. I'm like, they were gone. Like, just bye-bye. Maybe they discontinued it. Maybe it didn't sell as much, but I really loved it. Was, I would say, that Great Value. I wish they would bring back the Great Value dishwashing detergent, because it was like a dupe for Cascade, but it was better than Cascade. Like, it was that good. I loved it. I loved it so much. But it's gone bye-bye. So I am trying to go live more on this channel because I have a goal of just increasing, like, I'm gonna still eventually do edited videos. It's not that I don't love edited videos, but I have hundreds of edited videos, thousands actually, on this particular channel, because this was my first channel, but I kind of let it fall to the wayside a bit when I started up my hair channel. I started kind of adding to it again a couple years ago, but then I don't know, when my sister was living with me, I couldn't go live or even film things a certain way, just because she doesn't like she doesn't like when I'm filming things. Like, so when she was living with me again from like September of 2023 up till like a year, really. She was with me for 1 year almost, but it just got so bad this last time that she can't live with me anymore. So I didn't really go live or film anything when she was here. And I feel like I'm still, like, this might sound silly, but I feel like I'm still trying to get back to what I was trying to do with my channel before that. And of course you can film anywhere, but like, I do home content, I do art content, so a lot of the content I wanted to make was just really difficult. And during that year, like, there were just a lot of things happening that I had to deal with. Like, she was fighting with my neighbors, and my neighbors weren't doing anything for her, but she was like starting fights with my neighbors and just all sorts of things. So it kind of derailed like me wanting to work on my content for a bit. So like, I feel like I'm still just trying to get back into it. And I know a lot of people think, oh, like, you should do more edited videos, but I've kind of made a decision, and I made it a long time ago, and just going forward, like, my channel is a live channel. Like, I do a lot of live format, and I've always done it on YouTube. Like, I always liked doing live format on YouTube. Like, some people always thought you had to go to StreamYard, but now it seems like that's kind of changing again. So I feel like, again, like, it's sort of changing a bit. This one looks like it has hindrance. Let me go back through. So it seems like it's kind of changing, where I'm seeing more people go live on YouTube again, or in general, really, because I know YouTube's trying to compete with TikTok, and I've gone live on TikTok, but haven't really committed to it. I might go live again on TikTok, but the thing I don't like about TikTok is I love TikTok for short form content, but for their lives, I don't like how You can say, you can go back later and download your live, which I'm probably going to download some of my lives and repurpose them, maybe if I have time, into the various kinds of content. Like sometimes I just speed them up and turn them into speed motion or time lapse videos. So I do that. But honestly, I like going live on YouTube because when your live is done, you can keep it here and it stays here and you don't have to repurpose it. And for me, I like live content. I've always liked live content, and I don't go by the mantra that you have to schedule it. Like, I just do it when I feel in the mood. And that's, in this case, doing live content this way has kept having a channel fun for me, because if I did it on this like really rigid schedule where, oh, I have to like post this day and this day, a lot of people burn out and they're not here anymore. And for me, I thought about this too. I am a long-term YouTuber. Like, I might not have 1 million followers, but I've been on YouTube for a long time and I know how the platform works. And I'm a long-time YouTuber as well. So my advice to you is, just do YouTube in a way that feels organic. You don't have to do it like how other people do it. Like, I've stopped, like, I used to kind of watch those videos like, how can you get more views on YouTube? How can you up your game? But the truth is, a lot of the people that are doing that, they have like either equipment or they have like a production team behind them. So they're going to be the kind of YouTuber that's going to have like millions of views, like pretty much on every video. Like, they're gonna be people that have like a certain kind of entertaining personality, and I just don't try to compete with everybody. Like, I'm here to be myself. Like, I'm just here to share my take on things in an introverted kind of way, and that's what my channel is about. It's just about being yourself and about allowing for creative expression and all sorts of things, really. That thing just needed to be wiped out. Look at that. So it just allows for you to be yourself. You don't have to try and be somebody else. And I think in our society, it's always like promoted that you have to try to be somebody else and try and be this captivated person that you're not really. Like, just be yourself. Like, if you just want to be yourself, that is the best thing you can do in life. We're not competing with other people. Like, it's not a competition for me. Just do your best and enjoy your life. Do your best and enjoy your life. And I feel like a lot of advice or just observations I have that I make on this channel are things that my mom taught me, and I'm proud to pass those things on in a way, because my mom is a very quiet, subdued person, but I just feel like she has a certain outlook on the world that always motivates me. And if I'm really honest, truly honest, I feel like my mom's the best person I know. She's the best person I know. And I just really appreciate her so much. I've always had such a good mom. And my mom is such a reserved person. Like, she would never share her story, but she inspires me like every day. Every day, my mom inspires me, because she was very young when her mom passed away. She was 13, but by the age of 10, she was already taking care of her younger and older siblings. Like, she was helping take care of the house, make meals, clean the house, and her older siblings just kind of, I don't know, they were just lounging around, but she had such ownership for wanting to do a good job. And my mom just always, like, she inspires me every day, because I'm like, my mom's all about, you have to try your best and you have to find the happiness and the positivity in life. And some people might not resonate with this, okay? But she said she was very sad about her mom passing away so young. Like, losing your mom is like such a traumatic thing, but she said when she was 11, she didn't want people to feel sorry for her. Like, people would ask her if she was okay, like they were truly worried about her. But she said even though she was very sad, she wanted to show the world that she was able to endure. And it's just like, this might not resonate with a lot of people, but this has always resonated with me. Like, she wanted to have the strength to deal with the most horrible, traumatic thing. And the thing about her mom passing away that just it hurt her so much, but it made her appreciate her mom and value her mom and love her mom. And all these other people, like when she was in high school, that would fight with their moms and not love their mom and not speak to their parents, like she said, I just wish I had another moment to talk to my mom. And it made her want to be such a great parent. And I just really appreciate my mom for those things. And my mom went like through a really hard thing, you know, to be a 13-year-old who loses your mom and has to take care of like her siblings, like that's a big thing. That's not a little thing, okay? And nobody made her do that. It was just her personality. Like she wanted to do that. And it inspired her to be the best mom she could be and to be a very caring mom. And I know a lot of people, like they have stories about how their boomer moms or boomer parents didn't really care and would lock them out of the house to go play, which I can validate because I remember when I was a kid, a lot of the neighborhood kids would come over to my house and my mom would feed them. And she wouldn't, like, we weren't rich, but she would feed them and she'd let them play in our yard. And she's just always such a caring and compassionate person. And it just, but my mom's very quiet and very subdued. She's not, like, she's extremely introverted and she's just very reserved. Like, I just appreciate my mom so much. And my mom's such a good person. And my mom's like the best person I know. She really is. And it just makes me think about this every day. I will always respect my mom. And I feel like I just really respect her a lot. And I feel like a lot of observations I have on life about trying to be happy and finding the good in life, these are things my mom taught me. And I feel like they're really important lessons because bad things happen. Bad things happen all the time. But how we decide to deal with a bad situation, and some people might not find an inspiration in this, but I find it truly inspirational. My mom wanted to be there for people at a time when she had a great loss because she's just an empathetic person like that. And I love that. I love that about her. And I feel like that touched me too to some degree. And my dad, like, he cares a lot about people. My dad helps people a lot, like in ways that none of us would. But I just will always respect my mom until the end of time because of her empathy. I just will. I always will respect her. She's such a good person. And I feel like some of my observations about life I learned from my mom. And I'm like, I'm just so happy that I had a mom that cared so much and still cares so much and still is so invested in me, really, like that. And I just think I wish more people, like, if you're gonna have kids, like, be like that. Like, my mom was the kind of mom, like, a lot of the things that my mom taught me or believed or did, they might have been so-called crunchy, hippie type mom things, but it's, like, funny because, like, now, like, that way of gentle parenting is kind of, like, in vogue. Like, don't get me wrong, my mom, like, she had boundaries and she would, like, we got in trouble if we did things that weren't wrong, although I didn't really do anything bad, to be honest with you. I was always a good kid. Like, I listened to my parents. But she had boundaries and things. We had bedtime and we had chores, okay? Like, we had to do things around the house. But I feel like a lot of her ideas on gentle parenting were a thing before that was even trendy. And I'm not saying, like, oh, you should just, like, spoil your kids and let them run around. Because my mom would not let me do that at all. Like, my mom taught me respect. Like, when you went into, like, if you went into a store with antiques, she said we are to look around, but you are not to touch anything. Like, you respect the things in that store because they do not belong to you. And even if they did belong to you, you treat things with respect. So I learned from a very young age because my mom taught me these boundaries and respects that you could walk, like we could, my sister was 2 and I was like 5 at the time, that we could walk in a store full of like glassware antiques and we wouldn't be picking things up and playing with them. We kept our hands to ourselves. Like, she taught us these good manners and just boundaries, but she was gentle in the way she did it because she just taught us to respect other people's property. So, like, even now as an adult, I feel cringe, like, when people are, like, in stores and they have to pick up glass things and they start, like, clinking them together and they're not gentle with things, which makes me, like, honestly, if I'm ever going to buy dishes, I probably wouldn't buy them at stores that have them on display just because, yeah, I know things could break in shipping, but I'd probably just order dishes online and have them delivered to my house because, like, the ones that are on display, I don't like how people clink them around and they get chipped, and it really bothers me because from a young age my mom taught me that, and I feel like part of me feels like, shouldn't you keep your hands to yourself and not be clinking things around? Hi, how you doing? But yeah, people love to clink dishes around and things break in stores because people aren't careful with stuff. But yeah, I really respect my mom for having, how you doing, Usman, for just having like instilled that respect in me for things. Like, you should be careful with your objects. You shouldn't be clinking them around. Like, if you're putting, like, going and getting dishes out, like, be gentle, be mindful. Because I'm not saying, like, oh, people intentionally break things, but sometimes things get broken because people are, like, tossing things around, or they're, like, rushy. And another thing I really respect about my mom is I am a pedestrian. I don't drive, okay? I think I'm going to start making more pedestrian content, too. Like, I've shown the train, but I don't know. I want to talk more about being a pedestrian in Southern California, because I feel like a lot of people, they don't think that's a thing. Like, some people say that if they don't drive, they think they don't have transportation to go somewhere. But I'm like, there's literally your 2 feet. You can walk anywhere you need to go, like within a 3 to 5 mile journey, especially in my city, because there's sidewalks everywhere. Or you can take the bus. Like, there's a lot of options. And I don't know, like, but my mom drives, okay? She's always driven. My mom loves to drive. I don't like to drive, okay? How are you doing, Usan? So, but one thing about my mom is my mom's always been a very cautious and very careful driver. And I feel like a lot of people, they're kind of like angry, irate drivers. Like, I read something about how this person was mad if somebody would brake, in quotation marks, unnecessarily to them because they're in a rush. And how dare that person brake? I'm glad you're doing good. That's good to hear. Like, how dare that person put on their brakes because they're going to keep them from getting to their location faster. And I'm like, you know what? If you're a bad driver or irate driver, it's not your fault that you didn't plan out your routes better. Like, leave 2 hours here. Like, if you're going to be Mr. Speeding down the city streets, bringing your LA driving technique and style to the Inland Empire, which I don't like that because I feel like people honk more. And just things I never saw like 10 years ago in our little city. Like, people didn't do that. Like, it was quieter, and I think growth is good. But I also think if you move to this area, you need to be respectful. You can't have a panic attack. Because the other night, I was like really concerned for this driver. A semi flipped over going onto the 10 freeway over down there by California Street. And some people were having panic attacks because the police officer like stopped people and were like, oh, you're not going to be able to go this way for a while. And as I was walking, I saw all the big semis. They were like going down towards the Mountain View on-ramp. And oh boy, and the lights were parked up and people were honking. And I'm like, at least some of the people were civil. Some people have panic attacks. But my mom would be a cautious driver. Like, my mom was just very cautious. And I appreciate that about my mom. I really, really do. I was also, like, loving that my mom gave me this recipe for chocolate cookies. They're no-bake chocolate cookies. Maybe I'll make it. I don't know. I'm not in the mood. I might later. I don't know. I just haven't been in the mood to bake, but like, I've been watching these videos where everybody's trying the Dubai chocolate bar, and I thought about making it, but I'd have to go to the Mediterranean market and buy certain ingredients to make that, okay? That I don't have right now. I could make my own tahini, but you need pistachio paste, and I kind of want to make it, but I don't know, like, do I really need to be eating something that sweet? So she was saying, you know what you could make, and I might still buy the pistachio cream later, and I was thinking about making like a cookie that might mimic that, kind of like this chocolate oat cookie. It probably wouldn't be the same because it wouldn't be crunchy, but it could be good and satisfying. And I've been eating a lot of oatmeal lately where I put peanut butter in it, and I love. So I'm thinking I should buy some pistachio cream. It's kind of like tahini, right? Where do I live? I live in Southern California. My channel's called California Mountain Art and Life because I live in the San Bernardino Valley. That's where I live. Near the mountains, and you can see the mountains. And I love the mountains. The mountains love me. And I love them when they're snow-capped with the sunset. It's so beautiful. We need more snow and rain. We really do, because it's been so dry. And I was so happy to see snow on the mountaintops. Like, it warmed my heart. Like, oh gosh. rain for a couple days, but it warmed my heart to see the snow-capped mountains with the pink sunset the other day. I posted a short about it. It made me so happy. You know? So happy to see it. It's like, finally, we're getting some rain. Orange County is nice, but I live in San Bernardino County. Orange County, you're more towards the coast. We're about 60 miles inland, i.e. Inland Empire. But I like it. A lot of people kind of think Inland Empire is boring. I don't care if it's boring. I love being near the mountains. I don't know. People just, I think it's changed though, because since the panini, everybody's moving here. Like, people are moving here from other states. You know how people say everybody's leaving California? Then how come all these people are moving from Texas, Virginia, Iowa to California? Like, people leave, but there's a lot of people that move here too. They don't tell you that plot twist, you know? They're always like, oh, these people are leaving. But, you know, I don't know. It's just like people are loud and they complain about stuff and, oh, you have to pay more to live in California, but you also make more money to live in Southern California. Like, my nephew moved to Alabama because his girlfriend wanted to buy a house there. And yes, the house was cheaper, but it needed a lot of repairs. It was a fixer-upper, and a lot of their money goes to fixing up the house. And then he went from having like almost a $20 an hour job in California to moving to Alabama. And guess what? He would put on his resume that he, and I find this so funny. I don't know why people in Alabama are like this, but some of them just really hate people from California. Like, he couldn't get a job in a lot of places because he put on his resume his job experience in California. And he had a lot of job experience. Like, after he graduated from high school, he worked in a resort, and he also, I think he worked somewhere else, but he had a lot of job experience for his age, and he did a very good job, and he had a lot of respect from his employers. But he couldn't get a job in Alabama because he put on his resume his job experience in Southern California. And for some reason, people in Alabama will not hire you if you put that you've lived or worked in California. So some people there that were kind of looking out for him told him, stop putting on your resume any of your job experience. And he finally got a better paying job. It doesn't pay as much as California, by the way. But that's bonkers. Like, so they would rather hire somebody with no experience than hire somebody with some experience that worked in California. Make that make sense? It doesn't make any sense, because you come to California, nobody's gonna care. Like, they're not. I mean, some jerks might care. Like, they might, like, some people have stereotypical comments about the South, but most people in California are nice. They're not gonna, oh, you lived in the South, like, we don't like you. Like, I don't know. It's just very silly. But yeah, so and he finally found a job, but it only makes like 13, 14. So that's like less than he was making several years ago when he left California. And I'm like, So people complain like, California's so expensive, but you make more money to live here and things are more expensive. But, like, for instance, look at Florida. Rent in Florida, house payment in Florida are about the same, if not more, than California. And people make less there. Okay, unless you're like a CEO or something, or you have some high paying job, it's not more affordable. And a lot of people are finding that out. And then they're like, oh, we miss California. We miss like how diverse it is. And we miss like how people are just friendlier to you. Because, I don't know, a lot of people just don't. I personally will never leave California. I love California. Like, some people used to tell me, and this is one reason I'm kind of glad I don't do a live stream with somebody who just really doesn't know anything about California and just live off their prejudice of not liking anything blue state. Silly. It's so silly. It's really silly, okay? So yeah. It would tell me, oh, I would save money if I left California. I'm like, why would I want to leave California? Just because people don't like California doesn't mean you have to fall for it. And I've learned a lot about this in life. Just because people complain about something, just because they don't like something, doesn't mean you have to buy into it. Because there's a lot of distraction in the world. There's a lot of people that will talk about, oh, this is not good, that's not good. But I don't know. I love the United States and I love the Gulf of Mexico and I love Mexico and I love Canada. And I'm an American that loves our neighbors, our allies in the world. I don't buy into like this new rhetoric where people are like, oh, we have to do this and this. You know, that's all I'm going to say about that because I'm just going to go back to living in my own little bubble. Like, I will look at the world, but I don't want to be part of the brash, meanie, like, oh, like, blustering around. I'm just gonna focus on my own little life here in California and loving it. Because California is a really beautiful place. It really is. My take. You don't like it? Move elsewhere. Just like today, like I was watching this video, like these people, like, and you don't have to eat this. They were buying like this kind of peanut butter that's supposed to be like tasting like the Dubai chocolate bar. So as kanafe, like in it, and it has chocolate and pistachio cream along with the peanut butter. People are like, ew, that looks so gross. I'm like, well, you have the ability as an adult to scroll past a video where somebody's eating something you don't like. And honestly, I probably wouldn't buy that thing either because I was thinking, couldn't you just mix some peanut butter with pistachio cream and chocolate chips? I kind of thought that, but I don't know. But I do want to try making something that's inspired by the Dubai chocolate bar. I just don't know if I need to eat the Dubai chocolate bar. Like, it looks really good, but it seems really sugary. And I feel like I could make something that mimics the flavor. But I'll have to get around to it, like I do all things. Oh, I did a video today, though, on my hair channel that you really have to check out where I put my hair into 9 braids, into 3 braids, into 1 braid. So here it is. This is the result. It's fun. It's going to take a long time to take it out tomorrow, though. I'll tell you that. But I love it because I love to do things with my hair. Okay, and even though this is not my hair channel, I talk about what's ever on my mind, okay? So here's my next topic. There's different camps in hair land. Like, for a long time, this is just my take. I know from my experience that, and even hairstylists say this, who use heat on their hair, that in general, it's much gentler to not use heat on your hair every day. And I don't even want to use heat on my hair at all. I don't have any interest. And I guess like now, like there's this one camp in hair world, like they're into trendy heat styled hairstyles. Like they're not into like growing their hair long so they can wear it in braids. Like they want to wear their hair, like they want to buy a Dyson wrap and they want to do their hair in curly hairstyles. But now some of them, they're like saying, oh, like your hair grows faster when you use a blow dryer every day. But I don't know if that's true because there's a lot of people don't do that. And maybe it'll work for them. I don't know. Maybe it'll work for them. But a lot of people have said it's much gentler on your hair not to do heat styles every day. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I do like to extend out washing my hair. But I don't think, like, I'm ever going to go up towards a month again. I'm just not going to do that, okay? I think that's too, like, stretching it out too much. And I feel like that can lead to scalp issues. But I don't think you have to wash your hair every single day. I think, like, once a week. The most, like, for me, if you need to wash your hair every day, you do it every day. For me, once a week. And then... But there are things you can do in between. Like, first off, I've never used dry shampoo, and I want to use that. But, like, when I take a shower every day, I have claw clips, and I don't wear, like, a shower cap. I just kind of let the, I'll let the water hit my roots. And, like, and a lot of times throughout the day, like, a week, I'll take water, and I'll, like, kind of smooth down the top of my hair, which is something I love to do. Like, just kind of use water, and then you brush out your hair. And I use water and oil to detangle my hair. And so my hair gets water in it. And then now that I have this new particular brush that I've been using, the Belle de Joy brush, like, I feel like it's just so easy to detangle my hair. And then I can rinse it out with water. And some people use micellar water to rinse out their roots. Like, I feel like there's ways you could cleanse your hair without using, like, Victorian techniques. Like, some people... They do something completely different than me. Like, I use modern techniques, okay? I like how people in the past, like, wore more protective styles. and they extended out hair washing. I can deal with that, but I love modern shampoo, and I think it's good. And people used to wash their hair. It's not like they never wash their hair. People in Victorian times did wash their hair, but they actually used soaps that were harsher than like modern shampoo. So I don't think modern shampoo is keeping people from growing their hair long. Like there's a lot of videos online now saying nobody has long hair, but that's not true. Have you looked at India? Have you looked at like Russia? Like a lot of Russian women and a lot of Indian women have floor length hair. Ukrainian women, like Slavic women, Eastern European women, Indian women. I think it's a cultural thing, okay? And some of this does go back to heat styling, okay? Because some people really love heat styling. I know they're going to say, well, oh, you can grow your hair long, but the people that want to grow their hair long, they don't want to grow it classic length long, okay? For them, long is like waist length with layers. Like they want to grow their hair to like, I would say, or probably to where my braid is, but with layers. And that's different than if you're growing your hair like below your bottom and longer. That's a different game. Like when you start growing your hair that long, most people don't want to have layers. They want to have one length of hair, and they will start wearing their hair in updos. Like in fact, in the long hair community, like there is a forum called the Long Hair Community. Like they talk about braids and buns and updos. Like they're constantly wearing their hair up. And it's true, like when your hair gets to be a certain length, it's just better and it's more protective. And that's what people used to do in the past. They wore their hair up. Like they didn't wear their hair loose and it didn't go everywhere. And surprise, surprise, it actually keeps your hair cleaner, because when your hair is just like flying around and touching everything, you're touching it like constantly. Like people are constantly touching their hair. And I try to be mindful of like when I'm out in public, I don't want to be constantly touching my hair, like because you're touching things and that's not clean. I know a lot of people, I don't know, people do things that are not hygienic, like licking their fingers and touching objects and just not practicing good hygiene, which can cause the transmission of illnesses, by the way. It can. It's a thing. Um, and your hair. Like, you don't want to be touching things and then touching your hair. Like, you want to be mindful of your environment. Like, maybe this sounds like something a germaphobe would say, but I'm into being clean, okay? I believe in being clean. Being clean is good for you, you know? It really, really, really is. Maybe I do want to make those cookies, but think about it. So, yeah, I cleaned my sink. I feel much better. I had my fun little chat with you guys, and you can check out some of my content on YouTube because I'm going to keep growing this channel. And yeah, here's another view of my braid because, yes, I have a hair channel, but I feel like both my channels are related to each other because they're about things that I do. But I just feel like this channel is like daily life stuff, and my other channel is more hair content stuff. Even though I do talk about things on my other channel, they're separate, but they're related because I talk about daily life on my channel. That's what my content's about. Thanks for watching.